This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2016 Chaparral fifth wheel. The model number is 390 QSMB. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some features and how they work. This is kind of a demonstration video, so let's just check it out and see what we've got here. So it looks like we have a 6-point leveling system. Yes, so you can see 3 jacks on each side, the 2 front landing gear, then you have the center jacks, and then the rear. So I'll show you the control panel for that when we get to it. We have a power awning with LED. This is just power, 120 AC. You have a small refrigerator, and this is a griddle, I guess. I don't. You could pretty much put in there whatever you choose to. There is a quick connect down here for the LP system, as you can see right there. So with the quick connect hose, you can put whatever you want in here. If you wanted to add a grill, just make sure it's the right pressure for a travel trailer when you purchase it. Make sure it's designed for a travel trailer, which is a low pressure appliance. Okay. As we look up front here, we have some signal out and power if you wanted to put a TV out here. You have a couple cranks over there hanging on the wall. 2 30-pound LP tanks. Deep cycle marine battery, of course. Now this over here, this is just a pre-wire here. All this is if you wanted to purchase a solar battery charger from Furrion, this is their proprietary plug here. So the bottom line is it's just pre-wired, and it would be a solar battery charger. It's a little kit. You point it towards the sun, plug it in here, and it'll charge your battery. Okay. If you had a different brand, you would have to change the plug out. Okay. And this is your other 30-pounder here. Yes, regulator. Okay. So this would be your controller for your leveling system. So if you turn it on, of course, the 2 most common commands you're going to give it are auto level and hitch height. So that's auto level right there. And then to get to hitch height, you would scroll down, see where it is on this one. It's here. Auto retract rear. Auto retract all. Now keep in mind, if you push auto retract all, it'll nosedive the trailer because it will retract the landing gear also. It won't hurt anything unless you have something underneath the front. Then it'll squish it, or something's going to get damaged, so keep that in mind. Manual, you can operate it manually. And they're calling it auto reconnect, I believe, on this one. Yeah, let me look at over here just to make sure I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, okay, so when you get to the campground, you're going to unhook your tow vehicle and pull it away. Then you're just going to push auto level, and it'll level the trailer. Now your other options are you can operate them manually by scrolling through these options. There's manual mode, so you can operate them all the jacks manually. You can auto retract. Anytime you want to, you push these buttons, it's going to extend. So you got to make sure you remember to push retract to get it to retract instead of extend. And it's pretty much that simple. The directions are all right here, so it's pretty straightforward. When it comes to your water over here, you have low point drains here, okay? Gray and black. What would that be? Or is that the other way around? Let me think here. I would think this is the black tank and that's the gray tank. It seems an odd way to... Normally they would just put black and gray on there, but they don't in this case. Now, right now this is bypassed, so keep that in mind. That's the bypass valve for your water heater. You have these 3 different configurations here. You have 2 valves, and city water, just a normal city water, you're going to hook the hose up to here, this bottom one right here, right? And then you're going to make sure it's in this position, which would be, in this case, it's going to be like so. And you turn on the water, and all your plumbing is going to work like normal. Just turn the faucets on and flush the toilet, and everything's just going to work like it's supposed to. Now, if for some reason your camp is in a place without city water hookup, you can put it in this mode here, right? And that, I'm going to put it back like I had it here. Okay, so that's going to fill the fresh water tank. So keep in mind. So you can, if the campground, like I said, you're going to doesn't have city water, you can fill the fresh water tank, and then you can turn on the water pump. Well, I'll show you the switch when we get inside. You turn on the water pump, and you can pump the water out of the fresh water tank. All the plumbing will work as though you have city water. You'll just be pumping it from the tank. So you have that, and then of course the other option is for winterizing, which we talked about. One last thing, this has a black tank flush here. So this is where you hook the fresh water hose at the dump station. It would hook right on here. And if you read this caution here, it says you want the black tank valve open before you turn the water on to this fitting here. So it'll go like this. You'll hook your dump hose up and put it in the sewer at the dump station. Then you're going to dump your black tank valve. You leave the valve in the open position, right? After it's dumped, leave it open. Hook the hose up to here at the dump station. Turn it on, and then it'll spray out the inside of your black tank. Clean it out really well. Clean off the sensors, that sort of thing. But always make sure the black tank valve is open before you turn on the water pressure, so it doesn't build up too much pressure and cause you problems. Okay. All right. So I went a long way to say it's something that simple, but definitely don't use the flush with the black tank valve closed. Okay. Then you just have a sprayer here, of course, and then you have some hookups here: campground cable and satellite through. This is just regular power, I believe. Yes, regular power. This is your water heater here. So let's see what we've got here. Okay, so right here is your drain. Right here, as you can see, it has water in it. So this is I mentioned whether it was winterized or not. By checking this, I determined that they've already de-winterized it, because at this time of year we're walking the line. Do we de-winterize when we give it to a customer, or do we leave it with antifreeze in it? This one has got water in it, so it's been switched over for camping mode. So keep that in mind. Never run the water heater without water in the tank. There's a 10-gallon tank on the back of this here, and make sure there's water in it before you turn it on. I'll show you the switches to operate this when we get inside. It's very simple. You either run it on gas or electric, and we'll talk about that when we get in there. So just make sure you don't run it without water in it. Okay. While we're standing here, this is your kill switch for your battery, right? So I'm going to turn it on right now because we're charging. So there's the battery turned on. It should be on because when you're plugged in, it charges the battery. So, okay. Okay. This is the vent for your furnace. Okay, so you got your 2 slide rooms here. You got a 50 amp cord. It's a 50 amp system. This is the vent for your range hood. If you're cooking and venting it to the outside, you want to make sure this baffle here is open and flapping freely. Okay, this is the service panel for your refrigerator. And ladder. Make sure you inspect all the caulk and surfaces on your trailer regularly to make sure there's no damage where water could get through or any problems that need to be dealt with. So make sure you look at your roof and other parts of your trailer too to make sure it's good and tight, okay? As we come inside here, this is your control panel. All your slide rooms are here. Your levels are here. Batteries charged, so on and so forth, right? You can see it graduates up in 1/3 increments as they light up. Your water pump is on right now, so that water pump is used to pump water out of the fresh water tank if you don't have city water. It's also used to winterize the trailer. All right, you can run your water heater on electric right here, or you can run it on gas right there. Okay, very simple. Like I said, make sure there's water in the tank. Let's move forward here. Keys are hanging right here. Your thermostat is it's self-explanatory. You're just going to hit the button, the mode buttons. You can see how it changes. Okay. Works like they all do, basically. Your microwave works like any other microwave. This is your range hood. I showed you the vent on the outside. And if you're going to be venting to the outside because you're cooking, make sure you get that baffle on that vent open and flapping freely. Okay. When it comes to your, I don't know if he's got the gas on or what here, so we'll just kind of look at it. Basically, I'm going to have to do this one-handed here somehow. There we go. Basically, you have a sparker here, and then you have the 3 knobs for your burners, and then this one's for the oven. There you go. Very simple. You just turn that clockwise to spark it. When it comes to the oven, it's a little different. There's a pilot light in there, all the way to the back there. And this oven looks like it's never been used. We see that all the time. It's not uncommon. But basically, you're going to need a grill lighter to light this with a long neck on it. You'll just go to the picture of the pilot, or the pilot light, and you depress it. Keeping it depressed while you light it, you go down here and you light the pilot light with the grill lighter with the long neck. Once it lights, you hold this in for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat up the thermocouple. Then you're going to go to operating temperature. When you shut it off, the flame goes out, obviously, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? I'll take that down with, I can't do it with one hand and holding the camera in the other, so I'll come back to it. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator. It's a side-by-side, of course. So, on and off is right here, then mode. Mode is important. Let me go through. That's LP, so it'll run on liquid propane. It also runs on 120 AC electricity. So you're going to go to, let me come back around here, LP. That's auto. So basically what auto does, that's where you're going to keep it, generally speaking. Auto means that it automatically seeks out electricity, right? So it'll seek out electricity. If it can't find it, it'll light on gas, right? Or another good illustration is if you're running on electricity and you all get up and you go adventuring for the day, you leave early in the morning, it's a hot day, soon after you leave, the power at the campground goes out. Well, it'll sense that and automatically light on gas for you so you don't spoil your food. So leaving it on auto electric is generally the best way to go. When it comes to temperature, you want it basically up all the way, which is 5, I believe, yes. Okay, very simple. TV works like any other TV, of course. You have a sound here with disc player. You have, let's see what else we have here. Bluetooth. We have a USB drive right here. We have 2 speaker zones, one inside the trailer, 2 outside the trailer. You have AM/FM radio, so it pretty much does everything you need it to. And then down here we have a fireplace. I figure how he has this going here. There we go. So you can change the intensity of the flame. As you can see, you can set the fan 0, that's fan off. LL, which is low fan, and HH is high fan. So now the fan is really kicking, so it's a really good space heater. Okay, it also has a timer on it, so you can set it to turn on and off when you want it to. Okay, so you have that. This, you pull the cushions off the back. It's a hide-a-bed. Pull the cushions off, set them aside, grab it down there, fold it out. You have a bed for this room. You have some recliners here, of course. As we move up, you have a center room here. This will fold up and out of the way. Okay. And this, let me get some light here. Hold on. I can find it. There it is. This is your power converter right here. This converts AC to DC power. So on this side you got regular 120 AC circuit breakers, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC on this side, so you got 12 volt fuses and they're labeled. That's where the DC power comes from. It's also a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery up on the tongue has and needs, and it'll always keep it charged up as long as you're plugged in. When you're pulling it down the road, your tow vehicle will keep it charged. Okay. Alrighty. Always, when you're traveling, keep these locked in this position. Okay. So otherwise, they'll slide back and forth and they can break. The doors I'm talking about, so always keep them latched in that position. When it comes to the toilet, it works like all RV toilets. You put a dose of chemical in the bowl, step on the pedal and hold it down until at least a gallon of water goes in there along with the chemical, and it's ready to be used. If you don't do that, it'll get clogged up, it'll just be a mess. So always use dose of chemical and at least a gallon of water when you start off, okay? GFCI here, all the plugs in the trailer are wired through a GFCI, so keep that in mind. Even if it's a regular plug, it's still wired through one of them. So if you lose a receptacle, always think GFCI first. Okay. And second air conditioner, that's why this is a 50 amp system. You have 2 air conditioners. Okay, and you have, let's see what we got here. Wardrobe. Let's see what else we have. Prep for a washer stack, or a washer dryer combo. It's not big enough for a stackable, so a washer dryer combo. You got the plumbing and the power wired to it. Okay. Of course, your bed has some storage underneath it, I'm sure. Let me reach down here. Yes, so you have some storage here. Okay. And then, of course, you know, a dresser and an emergency escape window, which works like that. Push it all the way through, then you grab a hold of the screen and pull it out. And you can escape in an emergency. Hookups for another TV, of course. So you got a total of 3 TVs. Okay. This is your TV antenna. You crank it up and down. Always crank it down before you leave the campground, of course. And when you're let me get this down another step here. When you're laying it back down on the roof, you can pull this down and turn the antenna. But when you're getting ready to lay it down, make sure these two notches here those two protrusions there are lined up with each other. That way it'll lay on the right position on the roof, okay? Okay, so I think that covers it. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Make sure you check out your roof every now and then to make sure everything's in good shape up there. Right now this is in camping mode, so you're all set for the summer, and we'll answer any questions you have when you come to pick it up. So we'll go through anything you need to go through, okay? Thank you very much.